Hello everyone. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. I hope you're safe and well. And I wanted to just to let y'all know I'm wanting to start doing this on Fridays. I want to show Friday favorites. I'm trying to get everything organized, my YouTube channel, my home, you name it. But in the meantime, I thought on Fridays I'm going to start doing Friday favorites. And today I'm featuring my favorite vintage items that I have been given or found at the thrift store, and also some of my favorite just regular items that I love. One other thing, I hope y'all subscribe to my channel and give my channel a like, thumbs up, and also hit the bell so y'all will be notified every time I post a new video. Also, I hope everyone has gotten their message. I'm trying to get caught up on all my comments and replies because I had taken a good many months off, and when you get behind with anything, you know how a lot of times it just piles up before you know it. So I'm trying to get caught up. And if I have missed anyone, please forgive me. I'll eventually get to you all. If not, on one of my videos, I'll do the Q&A sometime. But for today, I'm going to start this new segment of videos, series of videos, about some of my favorite things. Okay, today, this plate is one of my favorite things. I love any plate that has a style of vintage, rustic, country scene, like this mill here where people would take their wheat and have it ground into flour, and that beautiful buckboard wagon with the horses, and of course the trees. But another thing I like about this, it's green and a creamy white, and this color and this pattern I think looks good in any room. And let me pan out just a little bit. I don't know what kind of plate. What I'm trying to say is I don't know who made this plate. There's nothing on the back that tells who designed this plate, but it's very good quality. And I absolutely love it. And I thought I would share it to y'all. Let me know if y'all know anything about this plate, because I sure don't. I just know I like it, and I like anything that reminds me of Currier and Ives plates in China, or either Johnson Brothers. I love Johnson Brothers plates in China also. But let me know if y'all like this. Let me know if you know anything about this. But I think this style vintage plate goes beautiful, especially in a dining room or a kitchen or even a family room or office. It doesn't matter. Also, this vase, let me pan back. I believe my camera, I'm too close up, but anyway, this vase is one of my favorites. It's vintage. And at first, when I first saw it, I thought it was maybe BAMBI and Thumper. I don't know, because it doesn't have any name on the bottom. And that is what it reminds me of, though. What do y'all guys think? Do y'all think this is a vintage Disney piece? And if it is, did they not sign Disney on it back years ago? This was actually my step-grandmother's, and she actually found this where somebody had thrown it out in a gully. Now, I don't know if they were on the way to a landfill or what, but she found it in a gully close to her house, and she got it up and she showed it to my mom and me. And when we were visiting her and my grandpa, I say she was my step-grandmother, but she was really just my grandmother. I loved her dearly. And she gave this to my mom and me. And I just absolutely love it. And every time I look at it, it reminds me of my sweet grandma. Okay, now, the next one is, this is one of my favorite vintage flower pots. It's a little bit dirty in there. I'm trying to see who this is made by. I'm not sure, but anyway, maybe you all know. I'm trying to get some of my decor out and dust it off and wash it off and pack some of it up, because I just want to be more organized in all my home decor, all my vintage pieces, my whole life. For some reason, it seems like I can't focus like I used to, just on one thing. So that's another reason I want to. And cleaning up, it's a good time to do it, because this coronavirus, I can't get out. And I'm homebound because of it, because I'm at high risk for it because of certain health problems I have. So it's a good time, which makes it a favorite time, to get my house organized and really a thorough deep down scrubbing. Just get down on the floors, and I'm going to scrub some of my older floors that maybe got a few places it's got wax build up. But if y'all know what this is, I couldn't read it because I'm going to have to get me some better glasses. But let me know. And another favorite vintage item. I got this thrifting. Probably, I don't remember right now. I may have told on the other videos. I don't know, but I got this. I can't remember how much I give for it right now. But anyway, when I walked in the thrift store and I was looking around and I saw this little lamb. I love little lambs anyway. I think they're so sweet. And baby goats, they're real sweet too, and they look just like little lambs. And when I first saw it, I just loved it. I don't know what year it's from. It says it's made in Japan, so it must be fairly old. But how you can tell it's vintage, as a lot of vintage lovers know, is by the eyes, the face, the glaze. I tell you, vintage items they just made vintage items so much better years ago than they do now. They just took pride in the craftsmanship. Also, some of my favorite things are, one, this beautiful sun catcher. I love sun catchers, and I have several. I don't know, should I put them all out? What do you guys think? Should I put them all out on display on one window, or should I just switch them out like I do now? I have one, it's a red cardinal, that is a Christmas one. And I have this one. And I got another one also with a little boy on it, but I just couldn't find it right now. And then also, I love this. I bought this. I didn't bought this brand new, what I'm trying to say. I bought this brand new probably about 28 years ago at a local store that sold classic vintage pieces, but they have since gone out of business. But it's called God's Wonderful World. God's world is full of wonderful things. And at a time like this, we need to think about all the wonderful things about life, but sometimes we get discouraged, don't we, about this pandemic and earthquakes and a lot of things, and we just have to go to the Lord God, our Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and just pray. That's what I do. And also, another favorite of mine is I love wind chimes. This one is a real delicate one, and I got this one, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, when my husband and I went to a outdoor flea market / flea market, and I saw this, and I think I paid $3 for it. It's pewter, and it reminded me, that cat, I love cats, and it reminded me of a cat I used to have that was half Maine Coon. It had a big bushy tail. It was a real large cat, and that cat loved me and my son and husband to death. That was the sweetest cat we had ever had. We got it at the animal shelter, and they said a man probably in his 80s caught him, that he had been hanging around his house a couple of days, and he caught him. So then he took him to the animal shelter. Well, this is a no-kill animal shelter, and he had been there for a good while. And a lot of people didn't want to adopt him because he wasn't a kitten. He was a grown cat. They said he was anywhere from 2 to 4 years old. But he got sick, I don't know, probably close to 9 years after we, 8, 7, 9 years, 10 maybe, after we adopted him. And I took him to the vet, and the vet said that he had liver cancer and he wouldn't live long. And it just devastated me and my family. That was the most loving cat. He was so smart. Yellow cat with a big old bushy tail. And every time I look at it, I think of him. And I got this in remembrance of him. I just thought that would be a very good token of remembering my precious cat. And we took him to the vet for all his shots and all his vet visits, and he got sick and started losing wait and wouldn't eat, and wouldn't drink water and wouldn't eat. You know, I didn't know what was wrong. I knew he was probably had a virus or something, but we had no idea, not even the vet, that he had liver cancer and died. But like I say, we just love that cat, and I love this wind chime. Okay, another favorite of mine. Let me get some of these out of the way so I can show you all my favorites. I may have shown some of these before, I don't know. Another favorite of mine is this Vinegar Container, and I even love the top of it. And to give y'all an idea of what you can do in multi-use things, this is such a beautiful design. When I make sugar cookies, you can make them all year long. Most people make them at Christmas. I use this and press it down like that onto the cookie dough, and it puts this print of a flower. So I multi-use that. It's great to keep our vinegar in it, but I haven't got the vinegar out in it right now, and I'm washing and cleaning things up. I have to show y'all my china cabinet and my curio cabinet sometime. I'm trying to get everything organized. My husband and I got behind, and he was sick, I was sick, my mother was sick and died, and you know how life sometimes just everything piles up on you, and we got behind on lots of stuff, so we're trying to catch up. Another favorite is this milk glass flower pot, and it's got this frog, and I remember this was my mama's actually, and I remember she would go outside in the spring and she would pick some jonquils and daffodils that we had, and or a few of the tulips, red tulips she'd had, and she would put them in each hole. That is what it's for, so you can have the perfect flower pot. And she said, I'm gonna put them in my frog vase. And I said, frog vase? What is that? I said, I didn't know we had a vase that looked like a frog. And she laughed, and she said, told me that's what this was. So I think of my precious, sweet, loving mother when I see this. Now, also, I thrifted this picture. I got this at a local thrift store that they work for a good cause. They help women who are been battered and homeless people. So I love going there. It's my favorite thrift store, but I cannot go right now. I can't wait to get back to when I can go there. It's even not even open. It's closed up because of this pandemic. But I got this because it reminded me so much of my little son. Well, he's a grown man now, but my little boy, I called him back then. When he was little, his hair, the shape of his head, and his favorite color was blue and orange, and that blue reminded me of him. And I actually had bought him some little red Converse tennis shoes one time when he was little, and he used to sit in a chair that used to be mine. It wasn't like this. I'll have to show it to you sometime. It was red actually, but this reminded me of him the most. And they wanted, let me see how much they wanted. Let me see if I remember. It seemed like they wanted $8, and I was short on money at the time because we had bills and stuff to pay. A lot of them piled up, and medical bills, so I didn't get it, and I kept thinking about that picture. So I went back a couple of days later, And they said they had a sale on their wall art and pictures and mirrors and stuff like that. And I thought, I bet that picture's gone. And I went back there and they had it for $3. I could not believe it. So I grabbed it. I just absolutely love it, and I was so thankful that it was still there. That is one of my very favorite items that I've ever thrifted. The next one is this frame. I love Beatrice Potter. And this frame here is of Beatrice Potter. I found it at Ross. That's when it was. Probably about 10-15 years ago. And I absolutely love it. And so I put one of my son's snapshots in it when this was his second Easter. And he was playing in the sand. Not much sand right there where we had it, this picture at, and he had his little sand bucket, and it was quite cool and windy, so I put the hood up on his face, a head rather, so he wouldn't get the earache. And I just love Beatrice Potter. When I was a little girl, that was one of my favorite stories, was Peter Rabbit. I loved that story. Also, one of my favorite childhood stories was The Three Bears, Cinderella, of course, and anything about Winnie the Pooh. Also, there was a book that I loved when I was little. I don't know the name of it. I do not know where it ever went. But I've looked for that book in these thrift stores forever. And it was, it might have been Timmy the Mouse. Anyway, it showed a little mouse and it had a little English P in its mouth. And it had the cutest and sweetest pictures. And I remember sitting down on the floor and just looking at that picture book for a long time with those beautiful illustrations. I don't know whatever happened to that book. I do not know. But anyway, also another favorite book I had when I was little. Don't know what happened to it either. But my mother, she was a very well organized person, but I don't know if somebody else wanted it and she gave it to them or what. But anyway, another one that I wanted to keep and I loved was about, I don't even know the name of this one, but it was about rabbits that were going on an Easter hunt, and each one was supposed to pick out their favorite color to paint their egg. And one rabbit got tired and decided he would just sit and lay on the grass for a while, and he chose green as his favorite. Then it goes on throughout and showing how they pick their favorite color. And one rabbit said, well, he didn't know which color he wanted. He didn't know. He laid down too, but he laid down on his back and he looked up at the blue sky, and that was the color he chose to paint his egg. And then it goes on throughout. It shows all the different colors. It was a book about learning the different colors and of Easter also. And at the very end, it showed one little rabbit. He was so disappointed and sad and felt so bad that he didn't have a color to paint his egg. But he wound up having the best egg of all, because a little baby chicken hatched out of it. So he had a little baby chicken for Easter. I don't know the name of that book, but I love that story too, and all the illustrations in it. But if y'all know about those books or where I could find one, let me know. I sure would appreciate it. Okay, another favorite thing of mine, you know I love working outside and in the garden and having flowers, is this straw hat here. I've had it for years. And I actually got this at a little store called Cato's. And I've had it for years and I just love it. But I use it sometimes just to walk around in the yard, but for gardening I don't really use it for that. I said gardening, but I really don't use this one for that. I use it when we're on vacations because it's just a plain simple one. And when we go on vacations, that's the hat I use. Excuse me. I don't know why I have this terrible cough. But anyway, here is another hat that I also use on vacation or events that we used to go to. And it had these beautiful pink hydrangeas or hydrangeas on it. And I just absolutely love that. And then it had this ribbon. It kind of looks like burlap around it. And then another one I got is this one here. By the way, that other one came from Cato's too. And that's one of my favorite stores to buy apparel and accessories. I've been going there for years and years. I miss going there a lot too. But anyway, this beautiful flower, this daylily or white tiger lily, is what this is. And I absolutely love this hat and the style of it. I got a great old big one though that I use when I'm out in the garden. I didn't show y'all that. I need to do that sometime. But I absolutely love this hat too. See, you can be protected by the sun, excuse me, and still be in style and look stylish and be dressed up. I remember when I was a little girl, my mom and me, we would wear hats at Easter time and white gloves. And, you know, people don't do that much no more, except over in England. The Queen does that. I like the way they dress. They have a hat that matches every outfit, and most of the time it'll have a flower on it. I love that. That came from Cato's also. And another favorite of mine is this plaque with the praying hands, and it says, "Lord, teach us to pray." Luke 11:1. I do like that too. Also, I like this as decor in my home. I have this brace. As you can see, it's got horses, and to me, I always thought that was Cinderella when I was little. This was my mom and dad's, and it's a little bit tarnished. I need to clean it again. And but I love these plates. And I noticed on I Love Lucy, which is another favorite TV show of mine, a favorite thing is I Love Lucy. I love the time when they moved out in the country in Connecticut, and I noticed in their family room they had plates on their mantle just like this. I absolutely love these plates. I think they're like from the 40s and 50s. This is another one of, it was my mom and dad's, and I cleaned it up. And these are brass. Now I don't know if they're real brass, probably not. But I love this one also, and it's got more of the equestrian.